Hey traders, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to talk about Robinhood stock, ticker symbol HOOD. Now, this is a very highly talked about stock, both amongst institutional investors and also just your generic day trader, swing trader, average traders. And it's a stock that's seen a major beatdown ever since its IPO back in August. And in this video, I'm going to talk about both sides of the equation here. There's been a lot of negative PR that was released in regards to Robinhood over the past couple of weeks. I'm going to break that down for you, explain kind of the short thesis here, as well as go over the bullish thesis and why, there could be big, short-term, medium-term, and long-term upside for this stock. We're going to go kind of both sides here. I'm going to take a look at the charts, kind of explain what I'm seeing there, taking a look at key indicators, key levels, and more, so we know how to best play the stock moving forward, both on the short side and the long side. So with that being said, leave a thumbs up on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let's get started. So we're going to start off here with the PR on the short side. It's been a rough couple of weeks for Robinhood. New all-time lows on Friday, kind of following this negative PR. What we saw is, two major things happen. First off, we saw that, there was a major hacking kind of scandal there with Robinhood that was leaked in November. And it raised questions about kind of the security behind the platform that obviously does not bode well for the stock price. And then on top of that, we do see that there was a big miss on Robinhood earnings when it came to the Q3 earnings that they released last week. It was driven by a big drop off in crypto revenue, and it was well below what the analysts were estimating. But there were significant other problems that were also addressed in the earnings report. So all of this has been kind of, creating that bearish momentum that has sent this stock price, falling down. And also on top of that, you can never leave out the factor behind, the meme stock trading and the retail traders and pretty much everyone who has gone against Robinhood and has kind of boycotted Robinhood following the events in January with the GameStop and AMC squeeze and all the other meme stocks. Robinhood was kind of became the villain during that whole saga for cutting off trading of those stocks while there was all that momentum behind it. So that's always gonna be part of the narrative for Robinhood, despite how the business does moving forward, whether they are able to recover and, grow bigger and bigger moving forward, or whether that ultimately becomes the reason for this company collapsing. I, along with many retail traders, had, some part in that saga back in January. I had, positions in AMC, and I'm not a huge fan of Robinhood as a company as a result of that. I closed my Robinhood account as a result of that. I'm sure many others of you guys did as well. But that being said, when there's opportunity in the market, I am going to take it. And that's kind of where we now dive into some of the bullish thesis behind Robinhood. So we're going to kind of go into some good Twitter threads that I found that kind of laid out the picture for us. So in 2022, looking at the future of Robinhood, we are seeing that they are going to be releasing crypto wallets, a full set of new altcoins that will hopefully drive their crypto revenues up, an NFT marketplace, a full range of loan, credit card, mortgage, and refinancing options. So they're going to kind of, go above and beyond just being a trading platform. They're going to go more into just finance as a whole, as well as interactive social media on their app where traders can share ideas as opposed to Twitter or Reddit. I'm assuming they're doing that because they're not very popular on Twitter or Reddit, but nevertheless, a lot of initiatives that could indeed kind of help out the bottom line of Robinhood and especially its valuation, bringing it to maybe all-time highs. So those are definitely things that we got to be on the lookout for. And on top of that, the other kind of part of the bullish thesis here, the part that I'm interested in I don't have any position in this stock right now. I am willing to play it both on the short side and the long side. I ultimately do not like the company. Like I said, when there is opportunity to make money, I'm going to take it, and I hope you guys do too. But yeah, so this is the other side of the bullish thesis. Buying Hood at $23 or an $18 billion market cap is a 50% discount to the last offering private investors had before the company went public. So huge institutions and private investors, market makers, hedge funds, whatnot, were all buying this stock very, very heavy at a much higher price than where it is priced at right now. Right now, it's not even at these levels. It's lower than this. But as you guys can see, these hedge funds and institutional investors, they're in the business of making money, and buying at those levels, all the way up there. They did so because they ultimately believe, and still probably do believe, that it's going to be a profitable investment. So that's something you got to keep in mind when it comes to Robinhood. There are a lot of institutions backing it, and right now it is heavily discounted. So with all that being said, now let's hop into the charts. Let's figure out how to best play this, both on the short side and the long side. So we're going to start off by just taking a look at the trend here. As you guys can see, absolutely beat down over the last couple of months, hitting new all-time lows here on Friday. And right now we have a few different trends that we can look at. All of them are indeed downtrend, some of them longer term, some of them shorter term. As far as the shortest term trend goes, we do see right here that right at the end of the day, Robinhood did seem to almost kind of make a push to break out of the shortest term downtrend on the chart. So come Monday, definitely pay attention to this. If we do see this break over this short term downtrend, we could definitely see a push to the upside for Robinhood. If we are not able to do that, well, then, this is going to be definitely the steepest downtrend that you can ride as a day trader on the short side. But that being said, there are definitely still longer term downtrends that you got to keep in mind, even if the short term downtrend does break. These are going to be much more significant and harder trends for Robinhood stock to break. And if you are on the short side, and you're shorting off these trend lines, well, very, very, strong kind of support to your side, that Robinhood will not be able to get above this trend level, as they haven't been able to do so over the past few months. So, make sure you have all your different trend lines drawn out and kind of play accordingly based off of, these trends. And when the trend breaks, if you are short on Robinhood, well, definitely, you need to cut your position and manage your risk. But all that being said, let's now hop into our support and resistance levels. So on the support side, there's really not that much that we can go off of, given that we are sitting near these all-time lows. We do have a little bit of a support that was kind of brought out during Friday's trading session at the $20 level, obviously a key psychological level there. And also at that 1982 level, that is where the all-time lows were and the lowest point during Friday's trading session. Buyers did step in at that level, pushing the price back to 2013 at close. So keep those levels in mind. After that, no data really to support it. There are ways to kind of, mathematically figure out support levels once a stock is hitting all-time lows, using Fibonacci and extensions and whatnot, but that is not how I trade. I'm not going to, push strategies on you guys that I don't use and that I don't understand. But that being said, the other supports that are going to be out there are going to be psychological support levels. So first one being the whole dollar support level at $19. If that doesn't break through, well, then you're going to look at that 1750 level as a psychological support zone that, if you are interested in going long on the stock long term, these would be probably very, very good levels to definitely try out and see if they can hold, if Robinhood can form a base around those levels and then start pushing to the upside. But speaking of upside, let's take a look at our resistance levels. Definitely a lot more resistance to go over on the chart. First one going to be right here at this 2060 level. If we do see that breakout from the short-term downtrend, we could definitely see a push to retest that level. Above that, we have $21, $21.40, $21.80, and $22. All of these historically, especially over the last couple of weeks, has served as resistance and support levels. So definitely watch those levels for scaling in either on the short side or the long side. But yeah, definitely keep these trends in mind as well. Because if it does break, there's definitely going to be more upside. And if they don't break, well, then obviously you can get in on the short side and you can definitely realize some pretty good profits right there. That's pretty much all I have for support and resistance levels. We can now hop into our um, moving averages, or indicators. So first one, 2312, that's the 9-day EMA, and 2680 is the 21-day EMA. Those are the short-term moving averages that I use to tell you whether there is short-term bullish or bearish momentum. With Robinhood stock being well under these prices, that is a very bearish indicator that shows that right now the bears are in full control of this stock in the short term. And then intermediate to longer term, the bears are also in very full control of the situation. 50-day moving average at 34.20, and not the 200-day, it hasn't been around for 200 days. I believe this is the 90-day moving average at 38.95. Robinhood stock currently priced well below that. Bears are in control in the intermediate to long term, and will continue to be, until Robinhood can reclaim those levels. And there's no telling if it's even going to come close to testing these levels in the near future. So as long as it stays below those levels, the intermediate to longer term outlook will be screaming bearish. So all that being said, now let's go into some indicators that are going to give off a bullish signal here. That being the RSI and the MACD here. We're going to look on the daily. As you guys can see, very, very oversold right now for Robinhood stock. RSI currently sitting at about the 20 level, a little bit below that. The selling can't go on forever here. Okay. So right now, very, very oversold. But eventually the selling pressure has to die out. You can't just keep selling a stock. A stock can't just go straight up or straight down. So eventually the selling pressure is going to get exhausted and buying pressure is going to step in and it's going to start pushing this thing up. That's just how the stock market works. So that's definitely a bullish indicator. And the MACD just kind of goes to confirm that. As you guys can see, very, very oversold stock right now. And as a result, if you are looking to get in long for the stock, you can play this short term despite how bearish it looks on the charts. Just knowing that the sellers are going to run out of fuel and the shorts are going to run out of fuel at some point, and eventually this thing does have to bounce and have a little bit of life to it. That's just how the markets work. And you're going to see this RSI return at least to a neutral zone at some point. So if you are catching bottoms off of support levels, there is definitely reason to believe that short term you can still realize some profits going long on Robinhood stock at the moment. I'm definitely interested to see how this continues to play out over the next couple of weeks. I will be looking for entry on either side, depending on what ends up happening with the stock. But I am interested to hear what you guys think is going to happen next, how you guys are playing the stock. If you have any questions for me, let me know. I'm happy to answer them. If you have any questions, definitely drop them either down in the comments or hit me up on Twitter. I'm happy to answer them. If you like this video, hit me with a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And aside from that, have a great rest of your night.